started looking into then what are the standards for ranges and their consistency.
A range that approximates the federal standards for the safety reasons. And he was familiar with this kind of a range, and that's what we funded. We considered all possible types of ranges from the outset, whether it be a fully indoor range, an outdoor range that is partially baffled, an outdoor range that is fully baffled, no baffling with just berms. We looked at all the possible configurations, and this is what we settled on for safety reasons.
And this, but in the end, this is going to be an outdoor and indoor, right? Or is it going to be fully indoor?
This is not an indoor range at all.
So there's not going to be any.
And within Bexar County, we have 4 groups of people who are required to qualify. Those who have qualified have that's because they're full all the time, and that's what you'll find is that really good firing ranges stay busy, and finding a way to get to use them is always difficult.
About this facility is it's cooler. And it's cooler because it's way cooler. And with that is the fact that it's an all-weather type of facility. It won't get through everything, but it enables the officers to train under a large portion of the year. And because of the lighting, which you can see here, they will be able to qualify and practice at night. So we've tried to create a facility that provides ample opportunity for them to train under different conditions and the majority of the year.
Okay.
Secondarily, this is what's considered to be a contained range. It is a contained range because all of the weapons that will be used on this range, all of the types of ammunition can be contained within the shooting area of this range. Now this is a 50-yard, 20-lane range, and as you can see, there are numbers here that identify the number of positions. And what you can't see right now are the actual firing positions. There are multiple firing positions down through here that will be painted on the floor.
Okay.
Okay. And so an officer can start here at the 50-yard, which is just about here, and fire on the targets that are behind that lower, what we call a floor deflector. You cannot see them right now, but we'll walk down and you can look behind and you'll see the targets that are back there. But going back to the caliber of weapons, were discussed at the very beginning of the design stages, and we designed the materials to resist a bullet escaping this range. By the thickness of the materials, these are 8-inch thick concrete panels.
Okay.
On the front of the panel is what we call sacrificial plywood. This sacrificial plywood is 1 inch thick, and it has a space between the actual plywood and the concrete.
I see.
What happens is that the bullet tries to enter, if there is an errant bullet, it enters into the plywood, slows down, and then gets stopped by the concrete.
Okay.
And the space in between helps us to eliminate ricochet shatter. That's when a bullet hits a hard surface and shatters and tries to come back. So because of the way that it's set up, it's going to slow down through the plywood, hit the airspace, and bounce, if anything, and go to the bottom. if
I
there's
see.
anything left.
Okay.
The same concept is used here on what we call overhead baffles.
Okay.
On the overhead baffles, instead of there being concrete, there's AR-500 armor-plated steel, 3/8 inch thick. So you've got the plate steel and then the 1-inch plywood.
Okay.
Same concept. The plywood slows it down. The steel plate stops it. The air gap stops it from coming back at the shooter.
Okay.
Now, also in designing this, we did a ricochet study. That ricochet study analyzes where the shooter is,
Okay.
where he's shooting to,
Okay.
gives him a range of error, which is about 10 degrees,
Okay.
and each baffle is set to stop that bullet from escaping this range, given the 10-degree error. Okay?
Okay.
It's going to bounce, and most of it's going to be bouncing that way. It does not really have a chance to come back. But if it does have a chance to come back, it's hitting what is a soft surface, which is the bullet trap.
Okay.
The bullet trap actually receives all the person the people who will be operating it can set it and program it to turn individual targets different ways. This is a running man, which will have a guy on it that moves back and forth. So it sets up a scenario that if you're in a condition where there was something moving behind an actual target that you were firing on, you have to wait. On the move, Tom. Anticipate. It creates some real life conditions.
I see.
Right.
Okay.
So going back to this rubber trap here,
I don't want to be in your way.
Go ahead.
underneath it is a granulated rubber. And what this the top does is help to keep down any dust. But it is it's just standard rubber.
Oh, cool.
You know, simple stuff. But like I said, when the bullet enters, it's hot, and the rubber will start to fuse upon it. And we have actually a vacuum system that will be brought through here, and you can actually suck up the rubber and redeposit it in the top of that so that it can come back down. But the heaviness of the lead separates the lead-filled rubber from the other rubber,
Wow.
right, in the vacuum system.
So those covers get shot up full of holes.
It takes about 30,000 plus or minus. I think it's about 30,000 rounds before this rubber has any challenge whatsoever. And you have to assume that
Gets it all in one spot.
it's going to get in a series of spots depending upon the shooter. You could end up with a little piece, but this is no different than the rubber on a bicycle tire, right? So they send extra,
Patch it.
and you just patch it.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Wow.
I mean, it's very efficient, very efficient.
If you were designing something for straight shooting, just target practice, just standing over like that, how differently would it be done? And not talking about county, public, private, but I'm wondering specifically from a design perspective.
Well,
It doesn't seem like would all of this be necessary? Not necessary, but
as far as the federal government is concerned and the military, yes,
okay.
absolutely. If you were to go and look at the guidelines, there are no options anymore for a what's considered a small arms combat range to not have this type of stuff.
Okay.
But again, Bear County doesn't regulate
Right, yeah, I understand. I'm not putting
small
you guys,
businesses
right, I'm not,
who do this.
yeah, I'm not putting you guys in
And
the place
Steve,
of the story.
have
where
you
you're gonna
ever
be-
designed one for a small business? It's all been for public
It's all
businesses.
been for
Right.
public federal agencies.
So we're not experts in what a small business
Right.
does or should do, or what Texas Department of Public Safety ought to do either.
Right. I understand.
And so this is holster your weapon, pull, look at it, turn, pull, and so yes, you have an opportunity for a guy to shoot high trying to shoot fast, but we line of fire accommodated that.
The bullet gets stuck in there.
It's gonna hit that 1 inch plywood, hit the 3/8 inch AR-500 armor-plated steel and stay inside and rattle around. It may, given that it's closed on the ends, it's not going to come out.